Hello llamas and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gisela Murillo, and for those that are new, welcome. Today's video is all about the shadow work and the healing process and why this is necessary to align to our higher selves. Before this video, I made a video on what spiritual awakening is, and if you haven't checked out that video, the link will be up here. Watch that video before you watch this one. Shadow work or healing work is the process of exploring the inner darkness or shadow self version of ourselves. I am making this video because right now a lot of us are on a spiritual journey. Part of that spiritual journey is trying to relocate our most authentic version of ourselves, because in life sometimes we wear this mask, we pretend that everything is okay, or we want everything to be okay because that is where our comfort lies. But the shadow work is about getting uncomfortable and looking at our shadow self and learning how to heal the parts that we don't like about ourselves. I'm hoping with this video it helps transform your life. This is to help you to release your emotional traumas or understand them in a new light, because without acknowledging our shadow, we cannot possibly be light all the time, because these are things that are deep rooted in us and have been repressed in us, or that we repressed ourselves because it was just too much or too heavy at a certain point in time of our lives. So hence why shadow work is necessary. It's asking ourselves the big question of why, to discover the root of that pain. It's pain longing to be healed. I feel like shadow work is important because it's saying I am there to show up for myself, even in the parts of myself that I don't like. This video was not only made to help understand our pain or wounds, but also to call ourselves out on our BS and how we are also toxic. It is about working and aligning yourself to help find peace in your heart. That itself is a process. It's pretty much helping shed old layers to reconnect to our soul. When you reach out to your shadow self, this is acknowledging that the soul needs to be healed so that it can move ahead in the journey. Shadow work is the part of yourself that is disowned, repressed, and rejected. They are feelings such as envy, anger, lust, ambition for power, or childhood traumas that we carry into our adulthood. When we repress it, it can cause low self-esteem, mental illnesses, or other stressors in life. It is us ultimately accepting ourselves for who we really are. The shadow guides us to where we need to grow the most in our lives to gain access to our higher self, also to live in our light. It's releasing old energy or toxic emotions to work through them. This is usually a process that one goes through alone, and it can be really intense and really heavy. It's a slow process. It's also a really tough process because, again, it's the parts of ourselves that we have repressed. It is what essentially helps us live and carry on. We pretend to wear this mask of joy and happiness sometimes because that is how society conditioned us to be in front of others. However, it is wiser to acknowledge the shadow version of yourself so that you can properly be your most authentic self. And again, if you haven't watched my video on the power of love up here, that video explains how when you are in that state of being vulnerable, you are the most approachable. You will be bringing out things that are past or current that hurt you. Analyze and vent. You may need a journal or might have logged them in one already. And ask yourself what you felt, what you didn't like about the situation. Sometimes you might cry as well. Shadow work is a process, not a one-time deal. It's not a process you rush. This will help you feel more free in your life. It's honoring all the BS that sucked you dry. Also, acknowledging them will help you deal with yourself. You will understand yourself more in a peaceful way after unraveling the feelings of frustration or sadness. I've definitely gone through this myself, and sometimes I still go through it. This time I catch myself when I know I'm being toxic, or that it's not helpful, or that it's not of value to my relationships with people, to the relationship with myself, every other aspect in my life. When you catch yourself, that is the most forgiving thing, because then you know not to do it again the next time around, and you can truly be the better version of yourself in all aspects of your life. So it's important that when that darkness starts to arise, you catch it and you sit with yourself silently and say, okay, I know we were feeling a certain way, but if it wasn't helpful, then we need to work on it. Again, in the situations that are not your best. Even though this level of shadow work is intense and is tough, it is necessary to be in an uncomfortable situation to truly free your soul from anything that will tie you down in the end, because you don't want to repress those feelings. You want to give them some light. It's shedding an old behavior that doesn't align to your highest good, and it's worth exploring. It's almost like giving your shadow a hug for ignoring it for as long as you did. I know this happens to me because I randomly have moments where I just cry, and I know it's because I've repressed a situation or a feeling that I was uncomfortable with. So I take the time to honor that feeling by just sitting with myself. That part of myself is vulnerability, saying, hey, it's good that you're seeing this. It's good that you're letting your emotions come out and are accepting that the situation wasn't the best. When we start confronting our shadow, we gain a newfound love and energy for our spirit. Some ways that you can help through this process of shadow work. 1, you have to believe that you are worthy. Take your power back. This is hard because of how we were conditioned to love. In order to find love with other people, first you have to establish the love within yourself before you go off and have a relationship with other people. 2, take the time to understand your emotions. It may not come straight away because soul work is gradual work. So sit quietly and take the time to understand who you are and why you are feeling a certain way. Number 3 is identify the shadow and the feelings that you're always thinking. For example, I'm not good enough. We must analyze our situations so that we are careful not to place blame on others for what we need to work on ourselves. However, if someone hurts you, you must practice forgiving them to move forward. Again, forgiveness takes work. This is the shadow work. It's really slow, so don't feel any rush to say, oh, I'm healed, I'm done. No, that is not how it works. It takes time for these things to internally not hurt us anymore. Take your time with your shadow. 4, explore your shadow by meditation, journaling, writing a letter to yourself or to anyone that hurt you, and burn it. Honor your emotion that you're scared of. And sometimes even dreams can help as well. So if you have negative dreams, try to see if you can remember them and write them down in a journal. 5, heal the inner child. This one will require you to go back in time in your life, back to a time where things might have been very difficult. It will hurt, but remember to hug the child that carried a lot of heaviness and tell him or her that they will be okay, because it wasn't your fault. Your grown-up version and your child version are there to heal as one. I hope this video helps you guys out, and I hope it helps you meet your shadow with more compassion. It's there waiting to be reached by you so that you can truly vibe into your higher self. So I will see you all on the next one. Bye, llamas.